Hello, hardworking aspirants. In today's class, we are going to discuss about art and culture of South Indian dynasties, and I will emphasize on this point that this is a very important class. When we talk about this topic, you will see art and culture mostly we talk about all over India, and the most emphasis that we give is on the northern India. But in recent years, if you will see this South Indian art and culture, which has a real rich heritage to it, it's being asked again and again in the UPSC examinations also. And guys, that makes it a very important topic. And if you want the PDFs, this beautiful PDF, because we believe that history will be more interesting if you have more pictures, if it is more colorful. So if you want the PDF of this class, you can join the Telegram channel, and there you'll get the PDFs for free. And also, if you have any query, these numbers that you are getting below, you can ask and we will reply to you one-on-one on the Telegram channel. And also a very quick info for all of you: if you are preparing for TSPSC Group 1 or Group 2 or UPSC CSE 2026 or 27, then right now you are having a very good opportunity of getting 50% straight away discount. You can call on the numbers given below to inquire for more. And let's get started with our important topic. So we'll start with the Sangam Age, or the early Cholas, Pandyas and the Cheras. And the time period that we are talking about is somewhere around 300 before Common Era to the 300 Common Era. The key focus that we will give here is on the Tamilkam civilization. And when we talk about the art and architecture of this period, we will see that predominantly we will have non-religious urban architectures with brick buildings, drainage systems and the furnaces, and along with the ring wells. And the recent excavation that is in Keezhadi or the Keeladi in Sivaganga, Tamil Nadu, that is also boasting about the fact of this rich culture there. And when we talk about the evidence of literacy, Tamil Brahmi was something that was present there, and the industrial activities like the weaving and metallurgy was a common part of the elite lifestyle. If we talk about the artifacts, what we have got from there, we have received beads, graffiti, terracotta, figurines, and also the ivory objects that you can see the images here. And the temple architecture, no monumental temple, simple wooden or brick signs possibly existed, and that is why with time we must have lost them. Murugan and hero stones, that is the Nadukal, indicates early religious expression. Murugan, obviously the god, believed to be the son of Shiva, and the hero stones where they talk about their heroes, and it is inscribed about them. This is something very specific to the South Indian dynasties, so this is what you should keep your mind on. When we talk about the Tamil Sangam works, we have literally, if you have missed the chapter, you can go back and see where we have talked about Sangam Age in two parts: Cholas, Cheras, Pandya's administration, and then we talked about the art and culture and the literature. And in the literature part, we talked about the Tamil Sangams that happened in three different assemblies. The first one is said to be attended by the gods and the learned sages, but unfortunately we are not survived with any of those literary works of the first Tamil Sangam. The second Tamil Sangam is said to be the first and the third held in Madurai, the second one held in Kabdapuram, all three under the Pandya's patronage. The second one we have Tolka PM, written by Tolka PR, which is also regarded as the book which talks about the grammar of Tamil, and also it talks about the socio-culture status of that time. And the third Tamil Sangam, we have many literary works, and those few literary works are here: Ettu Thogai, then we have Patapattu, thus the 10 idols are there, then Silapatikaram, Mani Mekalai. These are the two epics, like we have the epics Ramayana and Mahabharata, these are the epics of there. Then the themes there we have is love. Love is known as Akam, and war as Puram, that's the valor and ethics is also talked about. And few of the notable, if you see the authors are given here. We'll also see the Jambai inscription, the Tamil Brahmi inscription in caves, that is in Jambai. Post-thirds from the Keeladi, we have got that, and they reflect on early literature, secular and the commercial society. So few of these things that you're seeing here, these precious ornaments, or the glass beads here, or you're seeing the variety of beads, the ivory comb, the pestle of mortar. All this is what has been excavated from Keezhadi. Okay, and we have also done a class on Keezhadi, so you can go and watch that too. Music and dance, if we talk about, mentions of instruments such as yaz, parai and marasu, and the dance like kuthu, precursor to Bharatanatyam, has also been found. Then the classic Tamil script or the Tamil Brahmi, the letter Vettilutu, is also found, and one of the earliest religion literatures in the world is what we say Tamil was. Okay, so we will also see the high literacy level of the Sangam age. We have written scripts here that has been found, and the weaving industry was very much prominent there. We see that they were very prominent in the metallurgy. They knew about the iron, and the gamesmen and pastime was also there. That can be seen evident through this dices that we are seeing. Okay, so now coming back to Pallavas, that is from 3rd to the 9th century common era. Art and architecture, if we talk about, the masters of rock cut and the early structural Dravidian temple. Mahabalipuram, that is also one of the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, is dedicated to them. The bas relief is the descent of Ganga, and this is the Dravidian style of temple architecture that you see. Starting, you have the Gopuram, that is the entrance, then you have the hall, that is the mandapa, and then the sikhara at the top, and Vimana, this towering structure over the sanctum sanctorium. So the sanctum sanctorium is here, or the Garbhagriha. That is this temple architecture we have also done in very detail in our art and culture class, so you can check that out too. And I'm saying you to check out many of the videos, so better you can subscribe so that you can check all that out. Nonetheless, let's go ahead. The Sword Temple in Mahabalipuram, that is also one of the value addition to the art and culture of the temple architecture that we see. The Kailasanatha Temple in Kanchipuram. Features, if you see, Vimana Gopuram granite was used, and the artistic pillars were carved out, promoted Sanskrit, that is the Dandin and Bharavi, and Tamil, early Bhakti hymns. We also have Mahendra Varman's play Matta Vilasa Prashana, that was a satirical Sanskrit drama. Now, Nagara, Dravida and Vesara style. Basically, this Nagara style is also known as the northern style temple, where you don't find the Gopuram. Mostly you will not find the Gopuram here. And the southern style temple, this is the Dravidian temple, and the mix of both Nagara and Dravida is known as the Vesara. Again, you can check it in detail in the videos that we have already done. Three major styles of Indian temple architecture, and very quickly we'll see what are the distinct features of them. So the Dravidian style is, the region is southern India, basically the Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, whereas Nagara style we see northern and central India, and the Vesara style is Deccan, Karnataka, associated with the Chalukyas or the Hoysalas. The main feature, if you see, pyramidal Vimana were there and rising above the sanctum with the horizontal ties. When you see the main features of Nagara style, curvilinear shikhars were there, spire or tower above the sanctum, usually beehive shaped with a pointed apex. And when you see about the Vesara, hybrid synthesis of both the Dravidian and the Nagara element was there. Layout, if you see, enclosed with a compound wall, prominent entrance called a Gopuram, that is the gateway. Layout here, if you see, constructed on raised stone platform, usually with elaborated boundary wall or the Gopurams. And the main feature, if you see here, of the Vesara style, Sikhara often combines both pyramidal and curvilinear features. Mandapas, pillared halls before the sanctum. Here the shrines, subsidiary shrines are placed around the main structure. And here the layout, if you see, multiple shrines around a central hall combines open mandapas. Okay, something that we see here. A sculpture is elaborate carvings, and the dwarpalas are there, the guardians are there at the entrance. Here sculpture, if you see, highly decorated exteriors, intricate carvings on the Sikhara, and here intricate blending of northern and southern India again. So Vesara, basically you will see that it is having the confluence of both the temples of Dravidian and the Nagara style. Temple tank commonly included within the complex. Here the temple tank rarely enclosed within the complex. The example is Brihadeeswarar temple and Minachi temple. Here the example is Kandariya Mahadev temple and the Lingaraja temple. And here if you see the example, so here we see Chennakeshwar temple, Hoysala temple and Mallikarjun. Okay, so these are few of the examples. The Nagara style architecture, this is basically the figure or the layout that you see. Dravid style, this is the figure or the layout. And the Vesar style, this is the figure or the layout that you can see. Inscriptions of that time, Grantha and Tamil scripts, earlier copper plate charters, that is where we talk about Velur Palayam plates. Okay, the temple with dance and the sculptures, that is in Mahabalipuram, Bhakti saints Apar and Sambandar composed the devotional songs. Now the Pallava inscriptions. Pallava inscriptions, if you see, Pallava inscriptions are found mainly in Tamil, Sanskrit and Prakrit. Early inscriptions were mostly in Sanskrit or Prakrit, considered official language. Over time, we'll see, especially from the reign of Mahendravarman I onward, Tamil became the main language used in inscriptions, so often alongside Sanskrit in bilingual records. The Pallava developed and used the Pallava script, a form of Grantha script derived from Tamil and Brahmi script. Okay. The types and content, if you see, inscriptions were carved on stones, copper plates and temple walls. They record the royal grants of land, temples and villages, and all those details were given. Notable inscriptions, if you see, examples include copper plate grants such as the Kasakudi, the Tandanottam, and the others that you can see here. Administrative and cultural insights, Pallava inscriptions reveal the role of the Sabha, a council of Brahmin landowners. Now, see, we read about a Sabha back at the period of Indus Valley civilization and early and later Vedic period. And here is also a Sabha which is totally different. So please maintain this distinction. This can be asked to confuse you. So don't get confused. Always remember the context, whether it is of North India or the South Indias. Let's see the Chalukyas of Badami and Kalyani. So there we see the Vesara style, the fusion of Dravidian and the Nagara. Aihole as architectural laboratory was something that we see here, and the Durga temple in Aihole, then Virupaksha temple, that is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and Lad Khan temple, that is the Shiva temple. Now, literature, if you see, Kannada was there, Kavi Rajamarga, first literary work, Sanskrit, court poetry and play flourished. Kannada grew as court and cultural language, and for example, Aihole inscription by Pulakesen II, but actually it was written by Ravi Kirti. Okay, temples housed Natya Mandapas and the sculptures depict early classical dance forms. This you can see there. And the Aihole inscription, this is very important. We have done the Aihole inscription in quite very detail, also called the Aihole Prasasti, is a renowned early medieval Sanskrit inscription found on the eastern wall of the Meguti Jain temple in Aihole, Karnataka. It was composed in 634-635 Common Era by Jain poet Ravi Kirti in honor of his patron Emperor Pulakesen II. That is what we have already discussed. He was from Chalukya Dynasty. It was written in Sanskrit using the early Chalukya script, and it is a eulogy. It is a prasasti that primarily celebrates the military achievements and genealogy of Pulakesen II. The inscription contains 19 lines, with the last two lines considered a later addition and not by Ravi Kirti, and the main 17 lines are all in sophisticated Sanskrit. Okay. It records major events such as the Pulakesen II's defeat of Harshavardhana and the victories over the Pallavas and the other dynastic exploits. The inscription also mentions prominent poets like Kalidasa and Bharavi and connects historical events with the mythological references. So here is the Meguti temple that you can see, and here exactly you have this Aihole inscription. Okay. Moving ahead, let's see the key highlights of the inscription. It celebrates the victory that we have already seen. It talks about the Pulakeshin II's military victory over the Pallava king Mahendravarman I, and also Harshavardhana. Then political importance marks Chalukya supremacy in Deccan, literary value, obviously the fine example of court poetry and Sanskrit literature. Religious context reflect patronage of Saivism, and then architectural link associated with early Chalukyan temple architecture, including Vesara style seen in Aihole, Badami and Pattadakal. Cultural significance, if you see, demonstrates the cultural richness of early medieval South India. Rashtrakutas, when we see guys, they had the capital at Malkhed or Karnataka. World famous rock cut Kailasanatha Temple or the Ellora caves are dedicated to this Rashtrakutas. Patronage to Buddhist, Jain and the Hindu art. So here you can see Kailasa temple at Ellora and also the Jain cave temple at the Ellora. Literature, if you see, Kannada, that is the Pampa and Ranna were there. Sanskrit, Amav Ghosas, Kabi Rajamarga was there. Inscription and dance, if you talk about Kannada and Sanskrit, record grants, and temple carving show instrumental and dance traditions that you can see here. So mostly in most of them we have seen about this. Imperial Cholas, the pinnacle of Dravidian temple. Cholas, bronze Natarajas. This is the masterpiece that you see here. And also if you see here, it has talked about all the other parts. So you should get this PDF, and the PDF is free. You can get it on the Telegram channel to know more about that Nataraja idol. Brihadeeswarar temple, again dedicated to the Cholas, one of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Airateshwara, what you can see. And Gangai Kond Cholapuram, very recently it was visited by PM Modi, so it's in news. Tamil, if you see the literature, Kambaram and the Periya Puranam, that is the Bhakti movement, was Upper Sundaran. These were very famous. And the inscriptions, if you see, Uttara Merur inscription is something proto-democratic village governance. It talks about the Uttara Merur inscription. Let's talk a bit more about it. See, it is a famous 1100 old inscription from Tamil Nadu, dated to the reign of the Chola king Paratanka I. Okay, Parantaka I. It provides detailed information about the village self-governance. The inscription is found on the walls of the Vaikunda Perumal temple in Uttara Merur. Okay, it is in the Kanchipuram district. Okay, the music and dance, Devadasi tradition at that time was quite very famous, and Tamil dominant Sanskrit in religious works were used. Hoysalas is the next. The region is Karnataka. Intricate soapstones temple with star-shaped plants, highly sculptured walls. Then we see the temple at Belur, and then the temple of the Hoyleshwara, and also the Kesava temple at Somnathpur. Literature, if you talk about, then we have the Kannada literature here, Raghavanka, Kannada and Sanskrit. And the music and dance, if you talk about, the early Yatchagan route is visible here that we can see. Janna poet was also someone who was very famous there. Next is the Kakatiyas. The region is the Telangana, fortified cities and sandbox temples. Iconic Thoranams, that is the gateways that you see here. This was quite very famous there. 1000-pillar temple that is in the Warangal. And the Ramappa temple, again UNESCO World Heritage Site, is dedicated to the Kakatiyas. Telugu Mahabharata by Tikkana, then the Basava Purana by Palakuriki Somanatha, and also the music and dance, you see Perini Siva Tandavam was revived by them. So this is something that you should know. I think this is the last one, Vijayanagar Empire. You see the grand Gopurams, granite mandaps and all, Kalyan Mandaps. What were the Kalyan Mandaps? This is very important. Kalyan Mandapas, or the ceremonial marriage halls, are notable innovations of the Vijayanagar Empire. So it was quite very intricate of the Vijayanagar Empire. Vithala temple at Hampi, we can see Hajar Rama at Virupach, that is also what we can see. So this is the Vijayanagar style of temple. Important features of Vijayanagar architecture: temples were primarily constructed in hard granite instead of the softer soft stone used by the earlier dynasties, and making them more durable. This is something that we should know. Then the temple layout, most complex, are surrounded by strong stone enclosure. The Garbhagriha, that is the sanctum sanctorum, and then you also have the Saukanasi, then we have Navaranga, that is connecting hall, then Ranga Matapa, that is a large enclosed pillared hall, and then the Kalyan Mandapa. What was Kalyan Mandapa? It was a ceremonial marriage hall. Then we also see the Rayagopuram, that is the tall and intricately carved entrance towers, specifically called Rayagopuram during the Vijayanagar period. And the Mandapas, or the pillared halls, were also there. That is very important. So these were few of the features that we see. Kalyan Mandapas, again unique to Vijayanagar architecture. These elaborated pillared marriage hall within temples hosted key rituals and festivals at that time. The monolithic structure, if you see large single stone sculptures such as the structures of the Kadalekalu Ganesha statues and the iconic stone chariot at Bittala temple are prominent. Then the Amman shrines are also something that we can see as the main deity. And the temple tanks, water tanks or reservoirs, are integral to major temples, but sometimes we see that in the other temple styles it is not integral. And the iconography is life-size figures, mythological motifs, and intricate bas reliefs adorn Gopuram and the Mandapas. We will also see horses are there. So this is the Vijayanagar style of temple that we have seen. Literature, if you see Manu Charita by Allasani Pedana, and then Kannada is a Purandara Dasa Haridasa poet. Tamil Nyai ki Bhakti poetry was there at that time. Bhakti saints like Purandara Dasa, Kanakadasa were quite very famous of that time. Then we'll see the Nayaka rulers, addition of massive gopurams, corridors, temple tanks, and integration of religious military and the civic planning that was done by them. Minachi temple at Madurai and the Ranganath Swami temple at Sri Rangam that was renovated by them. This is the beautiful Minachi temple that you just saw right now. And the literature, if you talk about them, Telugu it was, Tamil was also there, and Yachagana devotional poetry was being used, and it also talks about Bharatnatyam, Tanjore quartet, systematized Bharatnatyam, Travancore and Cochin. Let's see them: Kerala style, sloped roofs, mural, wooden carving, and the blend of Tamil and the local features. So Padmanabh Swami temple in Thiruvananthapuram is something Travancore and Cochin later Kerala kingdoms have given us, and also the Vadakkunathan temple at Thrissur. Okay, literature, if you see, we will see Narayanayam, and then Malayalam, if you see, it was Ramacharitan and the Krishna Ghata. Okay, Malayalam becomes first court language, Sanskrit for religious texts. Kathakali and Mohiniyattam evolved at their time, and the Sopana Sangeetam was also there as the temple music. So with this, we have come to the end of the chapter, and we will very quickly see some of the question. The first question talks about temple architecture in South India of 2021. Okay, what is the question? Which of the following features is unique to Dravidian temple architecture? Gopurams are large entrance towers. Yes. The curvilinear Sikhara, no. Panchayatan style, no. Garuda Piral. So what should be the correct answer here? Gopuram are large entrance towers. You can pause the video and see the explanation in detail. Which of the following is not a feature of Dravidian temple architecture as seen in Chola temples? Vimana built over the Garbhagriha, Gopuram as monumental gateways. Curvilinear Sikhara similar to Nagara style was not there. Dravidians did not have the curvilinear Sikhara. So that was the correct answer. Next is the Vesara style of temple architecture is best described as the blend of Dravidian and Nagara styles. Okay, it is the confluence of both. Which one of the following statements about Sangam literature in ancient South India is correct? Sangam literature in ancient South India. Sangam poets are devoid of any reference to marital culture. The social caste of Varna was known. Yes, this is correct. Sangam poets have no reference to warrior ethic. Sangam letters refers to magical forces as irrational. No. The social category Varna is something that should be the correct answer, and that is, with that we have come to the end, and this we have discussed quite many times in today's class. Kalyan Mandapas. So which dynasty it was? It was the Vijayanagar dynasty. We found the Kalyan Mandapas. Okay. So with that we have come to the end, but this can be the beginning for you if you want to join the live mentorship one-on-one live with Deepika ma'am. So you can call on the numbers given below and really shorten your journey. Deepika ma'am is having 20 plus years of experience, and she can really help you. She has helped hundreds of students, hundreds of aspirants join the administrative services. And also, once again, a quiet reminder, if you want the PDF of this class, the very beautiful, colorful, and the very knowledgeable PDF, so you can join our Telegram channel. And if you have any question, you can also call us and ask the question. Thank you so very much, and we'll meet again if you subscribe. Keep working hard.